My mama telling me, I'm not gonna be your mama no more. Just reading them few lines was devastating. I was already smelling myself. I've never in my life smelled myself stink. I knew when I read that book that I would do my time like Malcolm X did his. All right, so check it out. When I went to the pen, once I got sentenced, my mom, she had already been through it with my pops. So she already been to the pen, seen him. She knew what the process was like. She understood that, like, when you go to prison, they take all your property from you that you have in the county jail. Like all your letters, pictures, everything. All that's being stripped from you, right? All the things that make you feel still human inside those inhumane conditions, right? So she was telling me, and it's crazy because, like, niggas don't be getting laced by their moms. My mom laced me based on, her training, what she had to understand. Like, when my pops went to the pen, like, they're finna take all your shit. Your lotion, your deodorant, your toothpaste, your books, your letters, your pictures, all the shit that make you feel comfortable when you're in your cell, right? So she was telling me, like, look, bro, like, when you get up to the pen, they're gonna take all your shit from you. So, don't trip. I'm gonna replace everything for you. And I knew that. Like, it wasn't a doubt in my mind that my mom wouldn't, my mom's on point. I had one of the moms that, for motherfuckers that done time, my mom's was, she was on point. She was what? Your girlfriend, your wife, your friend. All those people were supposed to be in one. She wrote me letters, She seldomly came to see me. Her coming up to the prison was an epic thing. So, when she told me that, I didn't even. It just was the game. It was like me talking to my OG homeboys and them telling me, like, what it's like when you go to the pen. Like, this is what's gonna happen, cuz. Like, you gonna hit the pen, they gonna strip your ass butt naked, they gonna search you, they gonna the whole shit like you bringing a bomb from the, you're coming from the county jail. It's not like you're coming from the streets. You don't go from the streets to prison. You're in the county jail, which is a secure environment. So, she's telling me, like, it ain't tell you shit, right? So, like, I took it for face value. I took it for, like, my homeboys telling me, like, nigga, when you get to the pen, nigga, like, you're not gonna have shit. The homies gonna look out for you. They're gonna do this, they're gonna get this, they're gonna get that. Right? So, when she told me that, I took it for face value. She's like, look, man, you're not gonna have nothing. So as soon as you get up there and you get, like, just settled in, like, write me a letter and shit, let me know so I know your your prison number and the whole shit, boom. I'm gonna send you some money ASAP. Because you're gonna need that. You're gonna need to be able to, there ain't even no deodorant, there ain't even nothing. So, you're starting all over from scratch. So when I got to the pen, boom, after about 4 or 5 days, I had never in my life, like, smelled myself before. So when I got to the pen, it was, boom, like, after I was, I'm hanging out, yelling and screaming on the tears and, saying who I am and, all the shit, in regards to that. Like, once I got to smelling myself, stink, because I ain't had no deodorant, no soap, and none of that, I'm like, damn, really looking forward to this bread my mom's just gonna send me, to get reestablished. So, like, when they passing out mail and all that shit, like, I'm on these motherfuckers' bumper. I'm like up in there, like, looking at shit, like, my book. So when they do finally call me, they slide me a book. They slide, So it was cool, boom. They sent me the autobiography of Malcolm X, wrote by Alex Haley, right? just growing up, Malcolm X was a name spoken in my household very highly of. You know, I respected, I loved, I admired. I looked up to Malcolm X even though I've never met him or nothing like that. You know, I knew he was a hero. You know, to niggas in the ghetto type shit. So, you know, getting the book, it was, you know, a little smile on my face, you know, Gucci. But I'm looking for that motherfucking money that my mama sent me. And it came attached with a little letter. It said, look, man, I'm gonna send you that money. It's gonna be about a month from now, right? Just reading those words were devastating. That's like my mama telling me, I'm not gonna be your mama no more for a month. You know, as a little child or something, right? You know, like I needed that money right then and there. I need some deodorant. You know, I'm a whole ass nigga, a whole ass crip, a whole ass man at this time. So, you know, I don't want to ask nobody for nothing. Like my people's got me. Type shit. So, just reading them few lines was devastating. Like a month. I wanted to reach, you know, scream through the papers like, you know, the fuck? So it's like, you know, but she said, but what I want you to do is, I want you to read this book right here. It's the autobiography of Malcolm X. He's a great man of our times. Very instrumental. He was a father to so many, you know, black men that didn't have fathers. You taught them, you know, things that your father would teach you. You know, and I knew that, you know, Malcolm X was important in, you know, my life and my household. So I need you to read this book and see the transformation of him being, you know, read, you know, manifested into Malcolm X. And ultimately coming home, being this person, and having the type of impact that he had on, you know, to this day, millions and millions and millions and millions and millions, you know, black boys, you know, he stood up against white America. You know, he didn't falter. You know, he was afraid of him. He spoke his mind, he spoke his truth. He was intelligent, he was articulate. He was, you know, he was something, you know, it was like watching a running back. You know, it was watching the #1 running back in the NFL, like, you know, like I want to be him. Right, like so. You know, we don't see that. We didn't see that, you know, just growing up. You know, we didn't see motherfuckers standing up against white, you know, white America, just in an aggressive way. And having everything that they had, all the ingredients, you know, of being a man. You know, Malcolm X was that for us, you know, growing up and coming up. So it was deeply appreciated that, you know, I got his book and all that, you know, and I know his story and all that. I never read, you know, I haven't really read many books at this time in my life. I understand the value of books, you know, to a human being, let alone a man or a black man, you know, to read, you know, and learn things, you know. So, I was, you know, it was cool and all that, but, you know, I'm like, well, where the fuck is my motherfucking money at? Type shit, like, you know, like you told me you was gonna do this. My mama never told me she was gonna do something and didn't do it. So she told me something, it was golden. It was written in stone. You know, but just the fact that it was even coming a month later was devastating. Like I was already like probably 6, 7, 8 days in. I was already smelling myself. I've never in my life smelled myself stink before. I've always, you know, bathed myself, you know, in African pride and, you know, the best of the best. And, you know, I've never smelled myself, you know, never know the fuck I smell like being funky. I smell other people being funky. I never smell myself being funky. I'm not no funky motherfucker. Like, you know. And, just the month was out of this world. I couldn't fathom going a whole nother month, you know, before you even just sent it, let alone the processes that you have to go through and the things that you know, to get the things that you need. So I was, I damn near body slammed the book. You know, like, the fuck, you know what I mean? She said, look, man, I need you to read this book it's critical. You just got to prison. Different people gonna do their time different ways. She said, I would hope that you would do your time like Malcolm X did his time. This is a transformation. Something that you can believe in yourself and attain it, and it was greatness. And one of the best books I ever read in my life. The Autobiography of Malcolm X, wrote by Alice Haley. And so that book sat on my shelf. I was disgusted at that book. That book should have been my soap, my deodorant, my toothpaste, all the things that I needed. I didn't need that shit. There's books everywhere. You know what I mean? And it took about a week and a half before I even just touched the book again. With utter disgust. What the fuck, you know what I mean? I need some fucking toothpaste. I don't need this fucking book. I just kind of read the back of it, and I just started reading the book. And I want to say this is one of the first books I ever read. Like, I read books growing up, but this is the first time I read a book, and it shifted my life. It changed me. It taught me how to do things. I read how he, came in. He was illiterate. He didn't know how to read and write. He was writing his brother and sister's letters. Over time, when he started educating himself, he understood how illiterate he was, and me as well. And that book, I probably read that book maybe 5 or 6 times in my life. Every time I read that book, I got something different from it. I learned things about myself. I learned things that I didn't, I attained things that I didn't attain the first time I read the book, or the second, third, fourth, or fifth, or sixth time. Every time I read that book, it was pivotal for my life at that time. So, that book is, I put that book, I've read over 1,000 books. I put that book as, one of the best books I've ever read in my life. I just learned so much from it. I learned how to be a man. I learned how to be a man's man. I learned, how to educate myself. How to fight back through education, the importance of it. That book was it's special. I feel like every black man growing up in America, or anywhere in the world, or any man, period, should read that book. It's the blueprint. It's the bylaws. It's the guidelines. It shows you how to transform yourself. It shows you how to destroy and rebuild, something that's essential for everybody. We should all destroy and rebuild ourselves in moments, seconds, days, weeks, months, years, or whatever. We should do that. We should destroy the things about us that we don't like. Fuck what the next person is talking about. The person can tell you all day, you don't need to be this or that or whatever. You might not feel that way about yourself. I don't agree with them. I like, That book was the building blocks of me becoming a man. And to read it, not having it being read to you or nothing like that, to read that book and to marvel over every word, to inspire you. That book showed me how to do my prison time. I knew when I read that book that I would do my time like Malcolm X did his. He did his time reading, writing, and educating himself. Self-education. Building himself up. He read the dictionary, every word in the dictionary. Started from the beginning. And it was epic to me. Because I did the same things. Even though at that time in my life, I was a Crip. And that's what, that's what I was willing to, die for. At this stage of my life, I'm willing to die to be a black man. And at that point in my life, it just showed me everything that I need to learn. Everything that my father wasn't there to teach me, or my grandfather, or people in my life. That book shaped me to who I am today. Through my music, through the books I've wrote. Everything about me and it's crazy how you can read a book and then read it at different stages of your life and receive different things from it. Different lessons, different blessings. It just was, not only that book, multitude of books, but that book right there is special to me. And I feel like, every black man growing up in America, because prison and jail and incarceration is a part of our life. It's a rite of passage in becoming a man. Like, everybody, has been affected by prison. Every black man black woman has been affected by prison. Either their father, uncle, they've been, somebody in your life has went to prison, if not you yourself. And to know later on in the, years that it was designed that way. Like when people were, when white America was building prisons, this was something they wanted every black person to go through. And, prison is a tumultuous evaluation of self. You can't never expect nobody to love you when you don't know how to love yourself. You'll never expect nobody to treat you a certain way that you can't treat yourself. So you have to fall in love with yourself. The essence of you, of being alone. This is who I am. These are the things I want about myself. I always want to be articulate. I love to hear people. I love words. And that's why when I rap, it's instrumental for me to be articulate. Very articulate. It's vital. I can hear a person talk and play with his words when he talks, her words when she talks, and be amazed at it. The same way I am like a rapper using their words, in a song. This person just talking, just being articulate. Just understanding how to use words. That's, that's vital to me. That's the substance, the root of everything.